60. If you take time to think about it, you realize that's a pretty big number. Recently, our church celebrated our 60th anniversary. And now we look ahead to the next 60 years as the people of Lovely Lane. As we look ahead to these next 60 years, I think it's important to go back to the basics and to go back to our discipleship pathway. The discipleship pathway is worship plus 2. We see the need to be in worship and then be a part of 2 groups in the church, one that's deepening our spiritual life and one that is serving others. As we move into these next 60 years, I think we need to focus on that pathway. But I think we've also come to see that there's an additional component to that pathway that is needed, and that is fellowship. You might say that fellowship undergirds everything going on with worship plus 2. A visual we could use in all of this is a bicycle. Imagine that the bicycle seat is worship. The 2 wheels are plus 2, and that bicycle chain that has oil on it is that fellowship that makes everything go. So we're going to talk about all of that in the weeks to come. And we're definitely going to talk about that over the next couple of weeks too, November 13th and November 20th, as we get into our stewardship campaign. Our campaign is entitled Disciple Living. We see the need to go back to this pathway and to focus on fellowship. But to do this and to make everything happen in our church, we do need faithful giving. Your faithful giving, our faithful giving. It makes everything possible so that we can have an environment and place in which we could become the disciples that God calls us to be. So let us pray for our church. Let us look on what we can do to become more and more the disciple that God calls us to be. And let us see how our faithful giving can make all of this happen. May God bless, and we'll see you in church.